All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. I'm gonna make this 201. Okay, so I want to say I don't even know what to say. So remember, I had issues with RSS.com. Got those issues resolved, and the audience has grown. Now remember this. It's just a I don't know. I guess it's the audio too. But I did it mainly for the transcript. You go there, you click on the episode, and then there's a transcript that's pretty good, better than YouTube's transcript. But the audience has grown to Belgium, Sweden, Born. I think that's how you pronounce Born. But I think that's all in one area. But I was like, wow. So let me say welcome and thank you. And I will be better, more diligent at uploading all the episodes there. Yeah. So thank you for that. Okay. So then thank you to everyone else. This is my FX Buddies, and this is way late. So this will be news covering September 8th, Monday, September 8th, and it's good. I know the title was pretty boring, but actually it wasn't. And this is heavy stuff, but it's good. Okay? I mean, it's a lot of words, which to me, I joke all the time, and I'm like, I love pictures, I love video, but this one is a lot of words, but that's okay. And what else? That's it. There's one article that I put at the bottom that I'm not going to have time to cover, and some people may want to read. Okay? All right. So now, wherever you are engaging with this content, in my opinion, the best way to follow along with me and to see the articles for yourself is to go to the blog. And the blog is parked at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. However, that's a lot to remember or type in. So, wherever you are enjoying this content, look for a prompt of more intro, description, something of that nature. Click on it, activate it, whatever. Another box opens that has a link directly to the blog, the free blog. And you don't even have to put your email in, and I don't sell anything. And then all the articles are there. All right, so we'll get into it. Again, I will ask, hit the thumbs up, please. Thank you. And if you'd like to subscribe, at 11 minutes and 11 seconds, a little icon's going to pop up in the lower half. Tap that, and then there is something. You have to subscribe and turn on notifications, but even with that, sometimes it doesn't tell you, but whatever. All right, so let's get into this. And this isn't even the biggest news, but so this is the latest. Iraqi government approves July salary list. Okay, so look, I didn't even change the title. It's a little tiny article. The Iraqi Ministry of Finance has approved the July salary list of the Kurdistan Region employees. So Kurdistan Region will send the August salary list to Baghdad on Monday, and they did. They sent that also. So I'm like, were they prompted to send that? Did they tell them to send that? Are they going to possibly pay July and August at the same time? I don't know. But yeah, so here's this person. Yeah, don't know how to say that name. But Jabar, I can say Jabar, the supervisor of biometrics. What a job. Would you like that job? Being the supervisor of biometrics. Doggone it, I forgot something. Hold on. Okay, and so I'm back. All right. So, yeah, Biometrics in Sulaimani said the list of salaries for July has been approved. Whenever Baghdad decides on the funding will be sent. So But that's good though. But yeah, so biometrics is they get scanned, their eyeballs get scanned. Well, more technically, their irises get scanned, but that's their whole face. So their whole face basically is scanned. All their fingerprints, not just the thumb, all their fingerprints. And there's one other thing. I think their blood type is listed on there also. I'm not sure, but anyway. So that is good, and that came out later. It came out during the Monday Night Football game. So whatever time, that was. All right. So it says the salary list has been approved by the Ministry of Finance. So I'm guessing another thing to look for tomorrow to come out of the Council of Ministers meeting would be confirmation that yes, they are going to send July's payment. So that would be great for the people, right? So here, Kurdistan Region submits August payroll to Baghdad. Kurdish media reported on Monday that a delegation from the Kurdish region will submit the August payroll to Baghdad. There's the news site, a delegation, yep, so same thing. And they added, members of the delegation will respond to any comments from the Iraqi Ministry of Finance on the list and then return to the Kurdistan region. So mostly what they check for is if there's double payments or if someone dead is gonna be paid, things like that. Okay, so now someone left a comment about there should be media when all these things they're promised, the people are promised, and it doesn't happen. How come the media doesn't point it out? And I said, okay, I'll address it in the video tonight. They do. And here just happened to be this is the comment for the day. The article for the day. Expert, the government must hold accountable those responsible for delaying pensioners' salaries, and the lack of liquidity will not affect their disbursement. So this person, oh yeah, with those three names there, called on the federal government to hold accountable those responsible for delaying salaries, even if the reason was technical, because we don't know that, right? They can say anything. Oh, like they said, the ATMs had a problem. It was a technical glitch. Anyone can say that. And how can the regular person verify that, right? So, but there is lots of complaints. I just don't focus on it. But also, you have to realize their media is very much controlled. They openly got, I think, 2,500 dinars on debit cards this year. Earlier this year, they were given these, I think they were Visa debit cards that were prepaid. I know 2,500 dinars is not a lot, but it's something, right? And Samir al-Nusari came out and told the media, you should be promoting the good things about the government program and about the economy. So there's a lot of pressure on the media to only, not advertise, but, and I don't want to say promote either, but that's the word that my brain is pushing out. To only show the positive things. Yeah. So there are, and then I don't know what consequences to those. There are some that do show the negative, like they showed people waiting almost all day at the ATMs, I think last weekend, waiting for their money, which never came. There's one of the bank branches that's nice and lovely, but there's no elevator and there's stairs, and so the people are complaining. The older people, it's hard for them to go up the stairs. So they have complaints. I just don't focus on it. And like I said, the media is pressured to mostly focus on, what's going to make the country and the banks look good. That's why it was so shocking to me when, what's his name? Mohammed Saleh came out and said those negative things maybe 3 weeks ago. I was like, oh my gosh, he's throwing Sudani under the bus, right? I don't know if you remember. But that's why I was really shocked about that, because he usually toes the party line, right? But anyway, so yeah, so um, they're saying the current financial crisis will not affect the disbursement of salaries, but it did already, right? They're late. Now, not as late. They're not a month or two behind like the Kurds are, but Baghdad was late. But it's been resolved. They did pay the retirees, okay? So I hope that helps. So if you want to read that, you can. Erbil presents a new proposal to Baghdad regarding non-oil revenues. So let's see, what is it? So this says right here, non-oil revenues are one of the main obstacles to be in agreement between Erbil and Baghdad on salaries and the budget. The Ministry of Finance has requested that the Kurdistan region hand over 50% of fees. And here's the fees. So it seems they have taken out some. So it says passport and national ID, border crossings, and a number of other institutions. But it was like everything. They wanted half of the tourism money, like you name it, they were asking for it. So what is this proposal is highly expected. The amount of non-oil revenues that the Kurdistan region has over monthly will boost the Ministry of Finance. It will increase from 60 to 70 billion dinars to 100 billion dinars. So they're going to get like 30 to 40 billion more dinars per month. Baghdad would if they do that. But we'll see. So the new proposal has been submitted and is scheduled to be presented in a report to Sudani, which we know he has already, right? A decision on the proposal is expected to be issued at the next meeting of the Federal Iraqi Council of Ministers, which is, it could very well be happening right now as we speak, because it's Tuesday, like almost 10 a.m. over there, right? So here, Parliament, resumption of Kurdistan oil exports awaits cabinet decision. Yeah, we know that. And then here, this has a little bit of new information. It has new oil fields. So Iraqi oil, signing major investment contracts and expanding gas investment. So here's the investment, I believe, is extraction, refining, and gas. So they've noted significant progress. And that's the one, like gas, they're supposed to have it where they're not wasting any by 2027. So some of this has already been done. But here they're talking about Chevron, and I don't know who Bibi is, but they're going to develop Nasiriyah and Kirkuk fields. I believe that's new information. But that's about it. Everything else is the same. Okay, Talabani. This is Kubad, but in this article, they're calling him Gubad with a G. so, so our people did go to Kurdistan. I was confused. I thought the Kurdistan people came here. But so Talabani was interviewed. The region is qualified to become an important trading partner for the U.S. So you see how they're, like I said, it seems they're shifting more towards Kurdistan and trying to build them up, right? And they are pretty braggadocious already. So here, Steve Lutz, whatever, the Kurdistan region has a more favorable environment for investment than Iraq. So here he is. He's the vice president of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. He's basically talking about them like they're two different states, two different countries, right? The Kurdistan region has a more favorable environment for investment than Iraq. Kurdistan is supposedly part of Iraq, right? Yeah. So, yeah, they were there. We will invest more in health, tourism, agriculture sectors right there because it has a safe, appropriate, and secure environment. So, yeah, I thought that was very interesting. And then here is, they even call it monumental. U.S. trade delegation visit to Erbil is monumental. So this is a lady, Gwendolyn Green. We're going to see her, I think. No, I didn't put their pictures, actually. So there's 3 people that speak in this article. That lady who's American and speaks English, because there's another lady, she speaks Arabic. And then there's 2 men, and they get interviewed. So what they say in the interview is here. The wording is here. And then if you, this particular notification does not put their videos on YouTube. I think it's Ruda. It's one of the Kurdish news. And so you have to go to the link if you want to hear what they have to say. But it's pretty much here in this article. All right, here's my one commercial. So, and also this indicates we're halfway through. I try to put my little commercial halfway through. So that way, you know, if you're like, how much longer is she going to be? So yeah, and I try to keep these 30 minutes. All right, so yeah. So when this is a live blog, that Buy Me a Coffee link will be live. Cash App is always live. And my tag there is $, T as in Tom, I, S as in Sam, H, WASH. And same for PayPal. And big or small, I appreciate it all. And thank you in advance for your generous gift. Ding! All right. So, and that, if you're wondering, is the, what is that? It's the QR code for Cash App. I like the one for Buy Me a Coffee was so big and ugly. So I took that one down and I put the Cash App one up. I like it better. All right. So here's some more news about the oil. Parliament. Resumption of Kurdistan oil exports awaits cabinet decision. So this person, Sabah Supai, look at that name. That's how I would say that, right? Sabah Supai, a member of the Parliamentary Oil and Gas Committee, confirmed that all technical and procedural preparations for the re-export of Kurdistan Region's oil have been completed. So here's yet another person confirming that they're going over the same details. And what was different about this one? Iraqi oil. Oh, you know what? I think we did that. I think we read that already, right? Because here's Nasiriyah and Kirkuk. They signed major investment contracts. Oh, they have expanded. I think I left that word out. So same ones, just expanded, and I think they've expanded to these areas. Nasiriyah, Kirkuk, and this field right here. All right. Oh, look. I did. I put this whole thing again, too. See, that's why I shouldn't be trying to watch football and do this at the same time. So we really are almost done. Okay, so I'll be deleting all of that. Yeah, because I put it there twice. Sorry. Okay, now here is President Barzani. This is Daddy Barzani, the one who really runs the country. And he is being interviewed, and look what he's talking about. Is ×2 will reemerge if U.S. forces and the international coalition withdraw from Iraq. And remember, they're gradually supposed to withdraw starting this month, and it goes for a year. So this is an article face to face in France. So you can either read this here, or I forgot Here's the interview, which is in English, a translation. So well, I don't know, maybe he speaks French, but he sounds like he's speaking Arabic to me. So the interviewer is speaking in French, and then Mr. Barzani speaks in Arabic, but it's overridden by English. So if you'd rather hear that, what I did was put the link to that. It looks long, but it's really not. Right here. So that will be a live link. When the blog goes live, this will be a live link to that interview on Air France or whatever, France 24, whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, pretty interesting. Even the guy, he doesn't say, the interviewer, he doesn't even say is times 2. It just says is. It says IS, and that's it. So see, people wonder why I don't say certain words. That's a professional news channel, and he's using word salad, basically, like I do, right? I thought that was interesting. All right, and look at this title. So here's a little article about our friend Maliki, but it says, again, Maliki speaks of moves to overthrow the political process. Like, oh, here we go again, right? Again, he is. And it says the leader of the state law coalition has returned once again to hint at the existence of moves to overthrow the political process. Yeah, you dirty dog, you're probably the one putting it in motion. But anyway, so he's there. Now, and so if you want to read about Venezuela and what's going on there, this was an article that was in Iraq's news. So they're watching it just as close as we are. The oh, you know what's missing? You know what I put there instead? Okay, pause, and I'm gonna correct. All right, I almost left out like the biggest story of the day. So Sudani went over to Brussels, right? And man, you should see, well, you're gonna see how happy this guy is. So I have quite a few articles about it because, one article will say something that another one doesn't. So they started out, Sudani heads to Brussels. Is he sending secret political signals to NATO? And I'm wondering, here, let me make this a little larger. Is NATO is something we could come out of, right? If our president wanted to take us out of it, he could, right? Is it NATO or maybe it's the UN? I don't know. But yeah, so he went to Brussels. He was invited maybe 5 months ago. He was somewhere else and on a side meeting, the head of NATO or whatever the guy's position is. Yeah, at the official, here it is right here. At the official invitation of NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Rutte? I'm gonna go with Rutte, but whatever. So these are some of the things that he talked about. He wanted to strengthen security relations with them, as usual. Political and regional messages, regional context. In conclusion, Sudani's visit to Brussels is not merely a protocol event. It represents a political and strategic message about Iraq's drive to strengthen its relations with international allies and consolidate its role as a reliable partner in regional and international security. So the other thing is, NATO has troops, right? So and they've done this in the past, as our troops leave, the NATO troops could come in And guess who could be wearing the NATO uniforms? Yep. American soldier. And I wonder how they feel about that. Because I think, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, hopefully we won't be here to see what decision they're going to make. But they definitely have to do something. Okay, so another thing, Sudani was just saying so much stuff. But here, Iraq has overcome all challenges and today represents a fundamental pillar of security and stability in the region. Look at this guy. Look how happy he is. Well, they're kind of happy to see each other. They're shaking hands and touching each other's elbows. Okay, so it's basically the same message. So if you want to read these articles, I have them here for you to read them. Iraq is a strategic partner and regional stability is a shared responsibility. So here he is again, and he's talking. Sudani's probably checking out the room, looking at the lady, and this guy is still talking to Sudani. So here's a bullet point list of all the things. I know a lot of people, they don't want to read all the article, but the bullet point list is good. So that's there. And I was even going to record some of the video so you could see how happy. Look, there he is again, cheesing and look, he's got both of his hands over Sudani's one hand. So Sudani goes to shake his hand and he puts the other hand on top, which that means something. Like people who do body language analysis, that means something. See, you shake my hand like that, I'm gonna be looking at you like, that's too much. Just one little handshake is good. All right, so there. Now we're at the end. Look at that. Okay, so I found. Well, I watch videos, right? I try to keep up. Oh no! So this is the article that I was saying. So, economic pressures challenge Sudani's path to second term as Iraq's prime minister. So, it's not really bad. They don't point out, like, it's not a hit piece on him. It's a gentle, yeah, you did good, you did this, you did that. But inflation is still something that the citizens have to deal with. And there's economic pressures. And I also like this, it's Arab Weekly. They write their articles. I can usually read it once or twice and I'm able to grasp it. For those of you who don't know, I have reading comprehension issues. And yeah, sometimes I have to read things 3, 4, 5 times. But this, I read it like once or twice and I got it. Okay. Now, the other thing that I was going to talk about, is it here? Doggone it. Here it is. Look at this. SWIFT to enable XRP use in payments steers clear of issuing assets. So this seems to be a decision that was made recently, I think probably Friday. If you notice, that's typical of our government. They put out major announcements on Fridays because they think no one's listening. But, so I'm going to try to find this on Swift's. So for those of you who are just listening, this is a coincentral.com article. And they're usually pretty good. They don't just make stuff up, right? So I'm going to try to find it on the Swift website. But they say SWIFT has confirmed it will not issue its own digital assets, but will focus on supporting existing cryptos like XRP. And then I think it might even, what's the other one? Starts with the H. H bar? I think there's also talk of H bar being it also. But anyway, and if you weren't paying attention, our government has now put some of the economic reports that are, readily available to the public. They are on blockchain. So they're pushing us along, right? That's the thing. Even in one of those, if you read those articles that talk about Sudani being in Brussels and speaking in front of NATO, they even talk about digitization. Oh man, you know what? I left out one more article. Hold on. All right. I apologize. Clearly, I'm not. And I didn't even really care about the football game that was on tonight. I was just so happy that football's back. So this is strengthening the digital infrastructure. This is an article in Iraq by one of their intellectuals. I forget his name, but anyway, electronic signatures are a cornerstone of banks' digital transformation, providing a reliable technical and legal basis for electronic transactions. This aligns with Iraq's efforts to improve its digital infrastructure, as stated by the Minister of Communications. So this goes along. Remember, there was an article where they were talking about now they have digital signatures. Well, not in the whole country, but they're there. So what do? They speed up transaction procedures such as opening accounts, issuing loans, reducing wait times from days to minutes. In some cases, using encryption technologies, reducing the chances of forgery and fraud. This enhances customer confidence in digital banking services, a vital step in an environment marked by increasing cyber risks. So with all this digital stuff coming out, and there was, I did find remember I was like, Aaliyah Locke was at a meeting with someone I didn't know, and it turned out to be the UN. So nothing exciting. But it's always good. There's a new UN rep or something like that. And they met and spoke. So probably getting them up to par. Is this recording? I don't see the little thing. I did something wrong. No, it's not. Doggone it. Is it? I can't tell. What is that? Usually it tells you. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. It is recording. All right, so I'm going to end because I can edit. So I don't know what I did, but hopefully you saw that. And I was just going to go into how they're digitizing everything and electronic, making everything electronic, and they're bringing the people along really fast. All right, so thank you for listening. Sorry I was so scattered. I won't do that again. And thank you. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals. Pay all your bills. Don't forget, hit the thumbs up. And if you missed the last episode a little box is going to come up right about now. So you'll have an opportunity to just tap that box and watch that. And wherever you are, thank you and enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time, when I promise I'll do better.